It is a triple homicide that's gone cold for almost 7 years now. 3 people murdered in the Pinyon Pines area just up Highway 74. Tonight we begin to unravel what may have happened and learn new information on who could be responsible. This is what's left of the Freely house in Pinyon Pines, about 30 minutes up Highway 74 from Palm Desert. 6.5 years ago, it was the scene of a horrific crime. Late in the evening hours of September 17, 2006, 3 people were brutally murdered here. They were 53-year-old Vicki Freely, her boyfriend, 56-year-old John Hayward, and her daughter, 18-year-old Becky Freely.
Right here. And so when the neighbors, they drove here, parked about where we parked out there. They got out of the vehicle, and one gentleman walked all the way up here to see what this fire was about. And he noticed this was smoldering.
While the details of the crime were never released, we are now learning through private investigator Luis Bolaños what he thinks happened. This reenactment video shows it going down like this. Vicki Freely and her boyfriend were home when probably at least 2 people came to the house and forced their way inside. There was a confrontation and the couple was either killed or incapacitated. 18-year-old Becky Freely came home in the middle of it. Bolaños believes she ran for her life through this part of the open desert.
So it looks like the suspects caught up with her maybe 100 feet from here, 150 feet, incapacitated her to a point, and brought her back in a wheelbarrow and decided they were going to ignite her, cover her in some type of flammable liquid and light her on fire.
No neighbors heard or saw anything until whoever did this had set the house and Becky's body on fire and left.
It just makes me sad that when she died, like, nobody was there, you know, and maybe she had to watch my mom die, or, you know, nobody knows. And it must have been terrifying to run for your life.
The case has been cold now for 6.5 years, and the Freely family still grieves the loss of their sister and mom. We interviewed both of Becky's sisters via Skype.
And then I always babied my little sister. Like, I always called her my baby. And then I just remember after she died, I was crying in the shower. I was like, my baby, my baby. I just couldn't find anybody funnier or a better friend in the whole world, you know. I don't know. She definitely was my baby.
It's been 6 years. With nothing, no more information, no relief, nothing. And it hurts just as much today as it did 6.5 years ago. And it's just as hard today, and I have all the same questions and more today than I did 6.5 years ago.
Now, new information is coming out in the case, and it could lead to arrests.
You think he could have done this?
Oh, I know he did it. I know he did it. I know there is not a doubt in my mind that he did it. Every single person that has ever known them on a personal level believes he did it. I know he did it.
One of Becky's best friends, who does not want to be identified, came forward to KMIR-6 to tell us what Becky had told her just a few weeks before she was murdered.
When I had asked her how everything was going, she said that he would show up everywhere, and then he told her that he threatened to kill her. And she said, he's so crazy, he even threatened to kill me. And I said, do you find that serious? Do you think it's a serious threat? And she said no. And she just brushed it off like it wasn't a deal, and then 3 weeks later, she's gone.
KMIR-6 is not identifying the man Becky's friend is referring to, but he's now 24 years old and likely living here in the Coachella Valley. Becky's friend says she went to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department shortly after the murders with this information, but felt they didn't take her seriously. In fact, she says they barely even interviewed her. We contacted the Sheriff's Department, who says they won't comment on the case because it's still an active investigation. They also tell us they take every tip seriously and follow up on what they believe to be credible. Our investigation turned up another person who says this case has not been given the manpower, time, or attention that it deserves. This person has close ties to the sheriff's department, and because of that, doesn't want us to show his face and has asked us to disguise his voice.
In the course of a normal investigation, if it's not solved, particularly with a homicide, relatively soon, then the case gets handed off when somebody gets transferred, when somebody gets promoted, when somebody retires. And when you're talking about 6.5 years, this case has been given to several different investigators. Each time somebody new gets it, they have to start from scratch and read every piece of paper associated with the case, which can take weeks or months, and then figure out what their game plan's going to be. So it takes a long time. The investigators seem less than interested, and it's taken multiple, 20 and 30 phone calls to just get a call back.
Is that kind of disappointing to see, though?
Of course it is. It is, and it gives the appearance of a less than professional investigation.
Becky Freely's sisters don't want to wait. They want justice now.
You took the best part of our family, and you literally took everything from us. And I hate them for that. And I hope and pray every day that the guilt eats them alive. I hope to God that nobody else's family ever has to go through this, ever. And I hope they hurt. I really, really hope they hurt inside. There's no amount of justice that could ever come to them that would make any of this right or feel better. Nothing.
Please, please help our family get closure so that we can move on from this. And please, whatever information that you know, bring it forward.
Here's where it gets even trickier. There may be several young adults who know what happened. Several of their parents have ties to law enforcement or were elected officials here in the Valley. Becky's family wonders if that is why this case may have gone cold. Nonetheless, we are hoping that this new information about the threat to kill Becky helps garner some more attention for the case, and that maybe deputies will take another fresh look at it as well. And again, someone out there here locally knows something more about this, and we're just hoping they will come forward with that information.
You know, I know you've been working on this for a while, but not 6.5 years, yet you were able to make, along with Luis Polonius, the private investigator, make some serious headway. How is it that you can, in what is relatively short amount of time, seem to cover so much ground that the sheriffs can't?
And again, we don't know that they haven't necessarily. We don't know where their investigation stands. They said that they are looking into every lead and doing whatever they can to follow any credible lead. So again, they're not commenting on the case because it's an active investigation. So we don't necessarily know that they're not following up on these leads.
But how active does it really seem?
Well, we're not sure. We're just hoping that, again, somebody comes forward with some new information here, and we know somebody out there knows something.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.